And hello, you absolute lovelies. Let's talk all about The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 4. We're about halfway, a little over halfway into the second season. It is a 7-episode season, and it is so riveting so far for me. This fourth episode had it all. It had amazing human conflict. We're getting to person versus person conflict. It had awesome zombie action. It had lots of romance. It had lots of tension. It introduced new characters. It brought us a crazy cameo I didn't expect. It brought us Jeffrey Wright. So many things in this fourth episode. Cannot wait to dive in. If you're new to this page, please hit that subscription bell. We're about past 46K. When we get to 50K, I'm going to do a 50 comic giveaway because this page is all about movies, TV, and comics, the books themselves. When we get to 50K, 50 comic giveaway to anyone that is subscribed to this page. Also, please leave a comment below. That is my favorite part about YouTube, is having a conversation about what it is we're enjoying about the arts themselves. So please let me know what you thought of this fourth episode, and press like while you're pressing buttons because it helps the algorithm. All right, let's talk about episode 4. The Last of Us is a show that had an incredible first season that absolutely kept me enamored from top to bottom. I played a little bit of the first game, didn't touch the second game, coming from this as a casual fan. And the first season had an incredible lone wolf and cub parallel. You had Pedro Pascal and you had Bella Ramsey, and it was riveting, and it played with zombie tropes and video game tropes, and it felt like you were playing the levels while also watching it. It managed to not be boring while watching someone play a game, which I didn't think was going to be possible. I've always loved the idea of video game adaptations, but I've always worried it would feel, which I personally don't enjoy watching other people play games. I always was like, well, why don't I just play the game? I haven't had the time to play The Last of Us. I hear it's exceptional. This episode, this second season, actually somehow has me more intrigued by playing the game because of the level of storytelling they're able to do here while feeling like a game. There's a moment where they show a guitar, and it just holds on a guitar, and it felt like a loading screen. And I was riveted because of the emotion attached to the guitar that had just been imbued onto it seconds before. The scenes of beauty and joy, the fact that we got so much art, celebrating art in darkness is so important. Appreciating what it is to be alive while everything is coming to a head, while death looms so close, means so much to me. I feel like it's so important to look at art as the thing that elevates us as a species. And this episode brought two of my favorite art venues to life in an apocalypse. We went to a record store. I'm a big vinyl guy. And we went to a movie theater, which is my church, the ultimate place to celebrate art as community. We use both as settings, so I especially love those elements. But let's break it down. The first section of the actual show, when we're back in, I was disoriented because we ended with this great march, this cliffhanger, this, oh, there's only going to be so many wolves, and then we see what it's going to be. And then launching into the show, having Josh of Drake and Josh in this great cameo, and this amazing way to establish what it is that humanity has devolved into, what it is to be a soldier in a post-apocalyptic world. You often see the dehumanization of your enemy in war and in policing and in violent situations. To see it here to scale and to talk about this horror of celebrating someone's teeth busting out of their head, to make it about a civilian, about voters, about people that lost their rights, dehumanizing to this insane scale, and that already feeling like all this impact, this raw mentality, giving us so much context about the wolves, and then the twist of having the reveal of the sergeant being like, yeah, it's because we've decided they aren't worth voting. They're not even allowed the right to vote. We call them voters to dehumanize them further. And then the further twist of him being part of the rebellion against these cop figures, these police. The reveal of him being part of the resistance that is in these people. I was riveted that whole opening, and then the opening credits played, and I was just like, man, what a show. And that did so much in a few minutes. It made us completely enamored, in my experience, by what it meant to be the insanity of Isaac's character in this world. Like, you're a man that is, man against man is what happens as things devolve, or as things are good. But to see what he was willing to do, how long he'd been undercover, like what pushed him to join the resistance. Was he undercover, or was this the moment where, them discussing, this is what I think it is, was the moment this woman and he were discussing, like, okay, this is the word to say, this is who I am, this is who you are, we've agreed this is what's going to happen, and boom. But what broke the sergeant to get him to that point? Was it that guy in that story? Was it the continued chipping away of humanity? Anyway, all of this in this one scene, and what that said. And then the next time we see him, it's this painful torture scene, and it's so incredibly written, because you know he's monologuing, and the whole time it's this idea of, is he on a date? He's dressed pretty well and he's talking about cooking and impressing women. Is it him with a new recruit, maybe the kid he saved that he decided maybe it was worth saving? Is it what's the audience going to be? The last thing I expected was a broken naked man being tortured, and that reveal, we've had so many twists in the show's like 10 minutes in, and that reveal and the brutality of that and the inhumanity of that, and he's the most human person amongst these people, the fact that he's the best of like hope, because he is willing to do what's right in the opening moment, and then he's willing to go this far to try to go at these religious zealots, these scars, and what these religious zealots are willing to do. We had the opening of the last episode feel like we were sympathetic towards them, their crazy scars and this religion they follow and this passion they have. And then we see what they do to the wolves, and we find out about this truce that's been broken. We see the lack of humanity on both sides. They're all willing to kill men, women, and children. They're all so sure they're right. And the horrors that become the background of this episode to our leads is so impressive. The fact you can introduce this entirely new concept this deep into the show. We're 3 episodes from the end of season 2. This was 4 of 7. And I'm so much more invested in the world and the tension that's built by having these real human feeling antagonists just behind our leads. That whole scene of the hanging in the intestines and the knowledge of the wolves and these scars and how brutal and broken and you know how the world has failed everyone. And then we've got the music and the love and the lyrics in that song and the beauty of, you know, them watching each other and the love you see in their eyes and all of that with the backdrop of pure horror and ultimate violence. And the tension you get because of that ultimate violence, the chase feels so riveting while feeling like a video game. I felt like I was playing both of them. I felt like I was playing Isabella Merced's character and Bella Ramsey's character. Like when they're doing the shooting in the subway, I'm like, which one would I be playing as in this moment? How cool that was. Also the hiding behind boxes, like that Metal Gear Solid energy, but like to a cinematic sale. And it made me want to play the game more. I will not likely have time. I'm 2 weeks behind on comics. I'm many movies behind. I have dates into 2026. But if I ever like break a leg, I would love to play The Last of Us, because the storytelling in this game is so next level that I can feel the video game influence. I can feel what the writer-director is bringing to this. The show is written by the guy that I believe wrote the game, and this episode was directed by Kate Herron, who is responsible for so much of Loki Season 1. Kate Herron, the incredible director of one of my favorite Marvel shows, incredibly directed this, and the tension she was able to bring, the suspense, the action, the pacing, the heart, the humanity, the beauty, the sorrow, and then the reveal. So we finally have this will they, won't they build to an actual kiss, and it happens after the many reveals, after the reveal of the immunity, the reveal of Isabella Merced's character's pregnancy, and then them going at it. And I love that in times of total heightened passion, like she did think she was losing Bella. She did think Ellie, Bella Ramsey, the actress, but she did think she was losing Ellie, and she then got her back, and that fueled that passion. And then it also compelled her to tell her the truth. And then, you know, Ellie's reaction to we're having a baby and the 3 of them having a baby and that beautiful moment about life amongst darkness. And even at the end of all of that life, even after the almost death, and the whole time, at least for me, I was rooting for them to decide to leave. Even after all of that, they commit to honoring Joel and going to take out these wolves, to take out Abby. So what a beautiful display of humanity. What a beautiful display of what it is to be alive, no matter the circumstance. What a beautiful display of going as far as you can from both the Jeffrey Wright perspective and from the Ellie perspective and from Isabella Merced's perspective. There's so much here. All while being very action-packed, while being very intense, while genuinely keeping me on the edge of my toes. Now that they've killed Joel, I'm like, maybe they'll kill, I think it's Dina. Maybe they'll kill Isabella Merced. I don't know what this show's capable of. I do assume we're going to get more Abby. I think it's going to do a thing where it humanizes Abby, because they've done a really good job going, okay, you've got the wolves, and they're the bad guys. Oh, wait, we've got the scars. Oh, they're the bad guys. Oh, wait, they are just 2 sides of the humanity coin. They all think the other is bad. So now we've got Abby, who got humanized a bit in her second episode, that second episode where we, killed Joel. Now we haven't seen a lot of her. I assume we're going to get some backstory beyond the flashback with her father. It's going to humanize Abby, and we're going to feel even more conflicted about whether or not they end up killing Abby and the rest of the wolves. I assume at the end of the day, Danny Ramirez's guy, Manny, is the ultimate prick by the way he treated her, and I think he'll get killed without a lot of redemption. but I think we'll see some of Abby to come. So haven't played the game, please keep the comments spoiler free from this point onward going forward. These are my predictions and assumptions from the way the show has been about keeping us looking at our own morality and what characters we're siding with. So I would love a conversation about episodes 1 through 4, especially episode 4, down in the comments below. What did you think of this episode? What are you thinking of season 2 of The Last of Us so far? I really, Bella Ramsey's grown on me since Joel died. I really did not buy her alongside Joel, and I think it's because of my association of her in season 1. She still doesn't quite feel, old enough, mature enough, or whatever for some of the moments, but much more than I had in those first 2 episodes. She has grown on me, and this take on the character, this older Ellie, has grown on me a bit. There is some suspension of disbelief with a few moments, but overall this one worked for me a lot more than the first 2 with her, and I love their relationship. I love Isabella Merced and Bella Ramsey's chemistry. I love Isabella Merced in general in this show. She is so good at a look, meaning 100 things, so good at a line, meaning so much, so good at emotion and conviction and intelligence and capability and feeling like she's actually able to take out these people and lead and all these things. She is a force, and Bella Ramsey also this episode really showed some range and the scope and the song, and my God, what an episode of television. Brought to you everything. Love, drama, hate, violence, romance, passion, getting after it, good stuff. What a show. All right, I will see you guys next week on Sunday for episode 5 of The Last of Us. I will see you on Tuesday for episodes I believe it is 7, 8, and 9 of Andor. Might do them as one video because last time I was so underslept I was not comprehensible and didn't comprehend. Both things were poor. And I will see you next week for a new This Week in Comics, breaking down the last week of April and the first week of May's comics, as well as lots and lots of reviews, upcoming movies and stuff like that to come. And you can check out my Thunderbolts non-spoiler and spoiler right now if you've seen the film. Check them out. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't. I'll see you soon. Bye.